like so late. So I have 2 teenage boys and a 10-year-old girl, and we've had some social media issues with them. If I grew up with the tools that they have, I would not be sitting here with you today. Yeah. If I had, when I was 15, the ability to broadcast my idiotic thoughts to the world, I would be I can't. It would. I tell my kids too. I'm like, you guys are growing up in a time, in my opinion, that is so much more difficult than the time I grew up in.
Agreed.
If I had a problem with you, I'd be like, Joe, I would talk shit to your face.
Yeah.
Or I'd have to find out what your phone number is, or mail you a letter.
Mail you a letter.
Which would, and then by the time it showed up, I wouldn't be pissed at you anymore.
Yeah.
So it would defeat the purpose. I mean, I've seen it firsthand, responding to stuff. People, they're just watching and then they dive in and, and like screen grabs.
Yep.
Next thing you know, I'm at school. Like, hello, Mr. Stumpf, how are you? Would like to show you this. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. But I get it at the same time.
Right.
And I recognize the language that they're using. I'm like, oh yeah, that was me, but I was just talking to you.
Right.
And
right.
I don't know how to, it's a very difficult for me. You got to come in. I mean, because I think your daughters are younger than my sons. It's rough.
Yeah, it is rough, and it's something that no one has done before. Here's the thing, like if you're in your 40s or in your 50s or whatever and you have a kid today, you haven't done that. You didn't grow up with the internet. The internet didn't even exist until I was a grown man. I mean, I didn't get online until I was in my late 20s. That's when it existed. And these kids that are 10 and 11, they have phones already and they have Snapchat accounts and they're and then there's, one of the craziest ones is kids taking naked pictures of each other. Because this girl got arrested for child pornography because she was taking pictures of her hoo-ha and sending it to boys, and she was 15. And so they were arresting her for distribution of child pornography. And I'm like, hey. Stop with the fucking word of the law, you assholes. Do you really think this girl's a child pornographer? She's a slut. This is, we grew up with kids like this. Sorry, I don't mean to slut shame, but I mean for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
For comedic intent, I had to use that word. She's just a young girl, is probably misguided. But the point is, we all knew girls like that, and for whatever reason had this desperate need for male attention.
They just didn't have a platform.
Yeah, they would just flash you their tits in the hallway or something like that. I mean, there was always girls that would do that.
I never had that happen.
You never had that happen?
No.
I knew girls that would do that. It was always like
You're East Coast guy, though. I was a West Coast guy.
They're different over there?
I would have to assume so, given we don't have the same shared experience.
I think they're more savage on the East Coast. Because they're the children of immigrants, or the grandchildren of immigrants. And this is my theory on, this is my take on America in terms of immigration, right? It's like the people that moved here from somewhere else, they moved here from Europe, and they were wild fuckers who was like, you know what? I don't have a picture of this place. There's no YouTube video for me to watch, but I'm going to take a chance, and I'm going to get in a fucking boat with my family. I'm going to travel across a goddamn ocean.
For weeks.
Yeah. And then I'm going to get to the other side, and they're all in these weird communities of people. Like, my grandfather would always talk about how racist people were against Italians, and then there was a lot of that against Irish, and all these like immigrant communities on the East Coast. And then what happens is they would get in their car and they would go, fuck this place, let's go west. And they would keep going until they got to California. And I think that's why California is like one of the most progressive places, because it's the furthest away from where people landed. So the people that wanted to get the fuck away from them, they got as far away as they could.
And the even smarter ones came to Montana.
And then there's some people in the middle that went, why are we traveling? Let's just stop right here. Especially like you go to places like, there's a lot of places that are fucking amazing that are like in the middle.
Flyover states, yeah.
I mean, you call it flyover states, but I mean, there's a lot of great spots in Texas. Yeah. You go to Austin, you go, okay, why are we moving?
Yeah.
Why don't we just stay right here? Like, this is fucking great. Like, do we really need to go to Santa Monica? No, we can just stay right here. San
Antonio is pretty cool too. I was down there with Dudley twice in the last month, and it's like pretty cool town.
I've never been.
It's well, I shouldn't say town. I think it's the 8th largest city in the United States. But
is it really? San Antonio is?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.